Hey, awesome ones. Bill and I are going away in a few days, and if you're not a frequent traveler, this video is definitely for you. Oh my gosh, things have really changed with rules and regulations for flights, all kinds of things, and I'm going to give you my top 10 tips, and it all starts in just a few seconds. So this video is actually part 2 of a video that I just did. What I was trying to do for our trip was figure out a way to just take a carry-on and a purse for myself. And while I was doing the video, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta make sure that people know about this and they know about that and everything else. So part 2 is basically me summarizing 10 of what I thought were the top 10 points about, going on a vacation, going on a flight. And I will put the link to part 1, which is packing lightly with a carry-on luggage and just a purse. And I actually did it. I got everything that I needed for a 5-day trip in there. And what that's going to do for me is I won't have to lug around a suitcase. I will not have to pay extra for a suitcase. I will not bring stuff that I don't need. And also, I don't have to wait around for the carousel looking for my luggage, or heaven forbid, they lose my luggage. My first tip is to study the airline flight information and rules and regulations before you even start packing. There's some really heavy-duty rules out there. For example, you can't, on your carry-on, you just can't bring your regular toothpaste or shaving cream or anything like that. Nope, you got to pack all your gels and your liquids in a 1-quart bag, and they do allow you to use a Ziploc 1-quart bag that they can see through. And some of the things about these gels and liquids, did you know that mascara is a gel? I mean, if they find it in your purse, they're tossing it. Lipstick is a gel. And a lot of these little tiny deodorants and that sort of thing, you can find them. Here's a little clip here where I was at the drugstore, and it's showing all of the, all of the different things, the shampoos, the deodorants that you can get at the drugstore. So that really helps to, I wasn't even too sure if soap was going to be considered a gel, so I even put it in there. And of course, that's one thing to remember. The other thing to remember there are rules about what you can bring in as carry-on luggage. Now, this is packed actually, but I just got this lightweight Samsonite carry-on, and it's absolutely wonderful. Maybe that old ratty carry-on that you have is not fitting the dimensions anymore, because they're really strict now on height and depth and width that you can bring. Also, on your carry-on with the flight that I'm taking anyway, I'm only allowed 40 pounds. And so if you've got a carry-on that weighs 20 pounds, well, less stuff is going to go into your bag. And this one, is nice and lightweight, and it really works out well. The other thing to think about is they allow you to still bring a purse or like one other item, and it could be a purse, it could be a laptop case, something along those lines, but they have restrictions on that too. So you really have to see, you got one of those great big gigantic satchel purses and it's too big, you can't bring it. So those are some of the things. That's my tip number 1 to check out. So my second tip, before you get on that plane, make sure your cell phones are all charged. Make sure that your cell phone, anybody else that you're going with, they're charged up before you go. And don't forget to bring your charger. Another really cool thing is these little portable chargers, and it always happens, right? You're just running out of steam with your phone, and this is just a lifesaver. It's a wonderful thing. And if you're wondering where you can get these, I'm going to link them in the description, but also in the leisure travel section at It's amazon.com/shop/awesomeover50. It's our new storefront. We're really excited about it. You don't pay any extra for the Amazon items, but we do make a little commission. I'm required to tell you that, and thank you for that, because it's helping to keep our videos like this going. So, oh, another thing that I wanted to say, of course I dropped something here, but other thing I wanted to tell you is like, okay, why is she making a big deal about her phone? Like, what's the deal there? Did you know that a lot of the in-flight movies now, they don't just sort of put them on your tray or above you or anything. You got to get an app. And you have to usually link into the Airlines app in order to see the film. So if you've got an iPad with you, you can do that linking into the app. Or if you really, need to use your phone, all you do is, here's a little trick. You get a Ziploc bag, you put your phone in like this, and then you zip it up. Of course, the phone's turned on, and you put this in between the TV tray so that you can watch the movie there. And don't forget your headphones, because you're going to need to hear the movie as well. But that's what a lot of people are doing now, and it's the 2000s, guys. This is the new way. So don't forget your headphones. So number 3 is wear your heavier items, especially if you're doing the whole just carry on and purse thing, on the plane. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my raincoat, and what I like about this raincoat too is that I can roll it up and also have it as a bit of a pillow, so that's a good idea. You can imagine how much extra room this would take in the carry-on. The other thing I would do is I would wear my favorite stretchy jeans, and again, jeans take up a lot of room. Also, I would probably wear my sneakers, because we all know how big the sneakers are. And one more thing that I want to do, I've just got a little black top that I'm going to wear, but you know what? Airline, I don't know what it is, but I find that I get really, really cold when I'm in flight on an airline. So I also am going to bring this little scarf. It adds a little bit to that little black top there, but also it's going to keep me warm and comfy, and warm socks are another great idea. So tip number 4, with our airline, we are not allowed to order our in-flight snack, I guess it's going to be a lunch or something like that, right, Bill? Until 48 hours before the flight. So we're going to go ahead and order that, but let's just say that it's a 5-hour, right, Bill? It's a 5-hour flight that we're going on. Mm-hmm. Let's say they forget and they don't give us our meal or something like that. Well, make sure that you bring some snacks, and usually some granola bars or something, whatever your favorite is, I would bring. Remember though, you can't be bringing drinks through the first gates. The only thing that you can bring is an empty water bottle, and then once you go through the gates, they usually allow you to fill it up with water. And I'm going to suggest you do fill it up with water, because those little carts that the people bring around, they give you about that much water, and you get dehydrated on these flights. So don't forget your water bottle. So number 5, I know I talked about bringing the heavier clothes on the plane, like the coat and that sort of thing. Make sure you wear comfy clothes. Those are my stretchy jeans, which I absolutely love. They're so comfortable. I can breathe in them. Make sure that you're maybe wearing yoga pants or something like that. And for the guys, you don't want to be wearing a really tight belt or, really, really terrible clothes that feel uncomfortable the minute you sit down. And to all the women who want to wear those, high over the knee boots and that sort of thing, forget about it. You're just going to be so uncomfortable. Hey, if you're just wearing your messy little comfy clothes and you don't want to meet those people at the airport, go into a washroom and do a presto changeo and come out, looking your beautiful, all dressed up self. But for goodness sakes, keep it comfy on the airline. So number 6, before you go, make sure you take a photocopy of your passport. You might want to do a copy of your health card, your health insurance, whatever you think that are important, because If you do take your eye off your purse somewhere, you're struggling to, I don't know, fill your water bottle or something, and you lose all that stuff, you're going to really need it to get back home. So what you can do with this is you can put it into maybe one of those secure drop boxes online, or if you have a really secure email it to yourself. And especially if you're in another country, man, you're going to need that passport information. So number 7, remember that little package of gels and liquids that I told you? Don't forget this one, the hand sanitizer. You know what? I'm not a germaphobe. I'm not. But this little baby, believe me, it's going to come in handy because, you know, you're sitting on the plane. There's been thousands of people that have probably been on your seat. You're taking out the tray, you're eating. It just makes you feel so much better, because the last thing you want to do, like 3 days into your trip or something, is start to feel like you caught a cold or maybe even something worse. So pack your hand sanitizer. It's going to come in handy. So my number 8 tip, like, it just seems so obvious, but give yourself a lot of time. Look at the rules and regulations for the airline that you're traveling on. If you are going on an international flight or just to another country, you got to make sure that, I think it's usually like 2.5 hours, sometimes 3 hours, whatever that you need to get through the customs. Even if you're doing an in-country flight, you got to go through security and all that sort of thing. And so you're probably thinking, oh, you know, I got lots and lots of time. And then the traffic jam starts. And then you thought you could find a place to park, but where'd all these people come from? You can't find a place to park, and you just get there so frazzled. And I'm going to tell you something. The plane won't wait for you. It's going to go, and you're going to have to make other plans. So don't get there frazzled. Get there in plenty of time. So my number 9 tip is make up a forever kind of list for traveling, and just do a photocopy of it. And you know, if you have to add some new things to it, like I've had to add some things in here, like portable phone charger and that sort of thing. So have this list, and that way you just photocopy it and you're crossing off everything as you're packing it. Also, another thing that I would do is I would sort of, if you haven't got a list like this already, start writing down things maybe a week before you go away. Write the things that you usually need. Like sometimes in the middle of the night, I need heartburn tablets, and so they gotta be packed. Sunscreen is another one. Maybe at the hotel there's a pool and you want to go swimming. Like, don't forget your swimsuit. Don't forget your flip-flops. Those are the kind of things that you want to start running around and trying to buy. So make sure you've got your forever list and you are checking it off. So number 10 is really study where you're going to. If you're going to some country and you're like, oh, I've seen it in pictures, it's so beautiful, really know their rules and regulations. You know, I've heard some horror stories about people who, you know, just naturally threw away their gum, or they threw away a cigarette butt or something like that. Well, it might be okay in your country, but in other countries, you're actually going to get arrested for that, and that's going to really ruin the trip. The other thing is, make sure, you know, if you're traveling to another country, you might want to get a little go belt like this and put in, this just hides underneath my clothing here. I might want to put my money, my phone, my credit cards. It's got little zippers and that sort of thing. So you might want to get something like that and tuck away, you know, your valuables and not sort of be lugging around a purse or something like that. The other thing you want to do is you want to tell your credit card people the country that you're going to, because if they start saying, oh my goodness, you know, this lovely lobster dinner in the south of France or something like that, man, they might be calling you and you've left your phone back at the hotel and you're gonna be washing dishes. So of course, I want you to have a wonderful, relaxing, amazing, awesome time on your travels. I'm going to almost make a number 11 for those of you that have pets, like our little Hurricane. Hey Hurricane, how are you today? And what I'm going to suggest is if you've decided that you want to put your pet into, you know, one of these doggy hotels or something along those lines, you might want to just sort of, yeah, he's like our little fur baby. You might want to just check and see how they do over a weekend before you go away, because sometimes these little dogs, they don't do well. Bill and I, we went away right for 2 days, Bill, and we put Hurricane into this amazing little doggy hotel. He didn't eat. I mean, they said that he would not eat a thing. So what he's doing now, he's going to go with Shannon. And he's going to go with Josh, and as you can see him perking up his head, he knows my daughter and her boyfriend, and so he'll be just really, really safe and sound that way. If you decide, oh, you know, my hotel has a pet place and they're pet friendly rather, so I'll just bring my dog. You know what? Really, really think about that, because you are leaving a dog alone in a room, and also you need to have your shots, you need to have your paperwork, or they will quarantine your dog. So just wanted to say that about our little fur buddies here. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is, did I do all the points? No, I did not. You've got to check those TSA rules. You have to check, you know, other things that you can and cannot bring on a plane. Even nail clippers and things like that, they're regulating a lot of things. So really make sure that you are well prepared before you go, and then you'll have an awesome time. And look what I just found. I hope I can find this for you guys. It's a little travel journal, and I just love that book. You probably love it too. Oh, the places you will go. And this little book says, "You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way." And I'm going to be recording a lot of our travels and that sort of thing. And of course, my wish for you is that you have safe and healthy and wonderful and awesome travels. And if I'm just a little part of it by just sort of giving you some of these aha moments of saying, oh my goodness, yeah, I better check that out. And helped you just make it a little bit safer and a little bit less stressful, I'm happy for that. And so until next time, keep it awesome, and we'll see you later. Everyone's invited to subscribe and join us on our videos.